Well, I haven't made a video like this since I used to drive the Nissan Titan in New Mexico, and I had like a GoPro mount on the like basically right there on the dash. But right now I'm just, I don't know, that mount sucks because obviously it's really vibrating. But right now it's just on the, like, literally the cheapest phone holder you can get from Walmart. I think it was like $6.88. Just got done trying to shoot 22 conversion in the AR-15, but ended up getting rained on, obviously. So I shot a few hundred rounds before I filmed anything, and then I shot 25, maybe a little bit more rounds, probably like 50 rounds on video, and then started getting rained on pretty good. So here we are, leaving. I was gonna do a live stream, not with guns, because YouTube says no live streaming with guns, because I guess people want to go do like a notable Las Vegas, as the Footbusters say. So I don't do live things with guns, because I did once and it kicked me out, and then I got a little pee-pee slap. But I was gonna do live feed. This was gonna be a live feed, but I don't even have good enough signal to even get GPS to work functional out here, which is, you know, obviously that's just ran off a satellite that might be above you, but, you know, cloud covering things. But there's not enough signal to do any kind of live stream. That, and I think that when it live streams and it finally like uploads to YouTube, the quality of the video is really grainy and horrible. Not that this is any better, because camera is shaking around, and then windshield wipers are just, you know, doing their thing. My wife's Ford truck, love you, honey. An old Honda Ridgeline, getting it done. So if you watched my shooting etiquette video, which I'll try to link it to this one, basically come out here to the main road and going to the right a little bit, I'll show you that other area where I was at after we forward through this gigantic hole. So I'm just in drive, just D, like drive. Let me see how deep that is. It's like up to the center of the wheel. Not bad, but I didn't want to put the whole thing in there. Everybody laughs. There's an acronym, NART. I had to look it up because I was on like a Facebook page for sorry. I was on a Facebook page for the Ridgelines, trying to get information about crap, and people are like, my NART, my NART, my NART. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I guess it means not a real truck, because obviously this is a unibody. It's a front wheel drive kind of design, even though this is, you know, all wheel drive. Everybody calls these not a real truck. Yeah, there's the other spot where I was at, where that car's parked. Yeah, everybody calls this thing not a real truck, and it's so funny because they call it that, but yet I've pulled plenty of people out of the sand, mud, and even snow. Don't tell the wife that I was, you know, offering this thing without her a little bit when we were in New Mexico. But is that my road? Yeah, there's the road I want to go on. But yeah, people call it not a real truck, but yet, you know, anything front wheel drive is gonna get pretty decent traction, especially if you know how to drive and you're not a weirdo, you know. So we go to the beach here often, and one of them that we go to, we don't live in that county, so we don't have you have to live in that county, own a house in that county, and then you can get a sticker to drive your vehicle on the beach. But the access road to get out there, or to even park, to just to walk to the beach, is like 100% sandbar, and I've had to pull people out of there a few times. And it's funny because the last time we did it, this guy, you know, clearly young dude on a date with his woman, and he's just framed out in this like 2-wheel drive Tacoma. So he's talking to a grouper trooper, a Florida wildlife officer, who's on a 4-wheeler. And when we drove in, we saw the F-150 that the trooper, wildlife guy, grouper trooper, was driving. And he had a trailer, you know, and he obviously had his 4-wheeler offloaded. And so he was like on the phone with the guy that was stuck was on the phone, basically, I think, trying to call somebody to come pull him out. And I think that the grouper trooper was trying to give him a ticket for where he drove into, because there was a little thing that said "don't drive here." So I pull up and I just ignore the grouper trooper, and I asked the guy, I said, "Hey man, you want me to pull you out?" And he was like, "Yeah." And so, you know, I keep a strap in here all the time. 9mm and cargo strap. So, you know, my wife's in the truck with me, and you know, I get out and go hook the strap up to his truck and hook it up to the little wussy tow hitch on this thing, because it can only pull like 5,000 pounds, so the hitch is so small. And then, you know, the grouper trooper walks up and he's like, "Is this thing even 4-wheel drive?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, just fucking, if you're gonna ask if this is 4-wheel drive, you should have rode your little fucking 4-wheeler back to your F-150, unhooked your trailer, and come pull this motherfucking dude out, instead of just wanting to give him a ticket and wait for him to call somebody to fucking pull him out, you know? Fucking douchebag. Do your goddamn job. Your job is to serve the public." So I just laugh, get in the truck, don't even lock in 4-wheel drive, don't put it in, you know, first or second gear, and I just like slowly but steadily, and it's not even like a kinetic rope, you know, that has the bunginess to it that can use that principle of energy to extract them, you know. I just give it a little bit of gas, and it, you know, it's Tacoma's super lightweight, you know. It's framed out, but it don't matter, because as soon as you start pulling it, then his tires are on the ground, it just rolls, you know. So I just told him, you know, I asked him before I got in my truck, you know, like my not real truck, I said, "Hey man, you ever been in a vehicle that got pulled out before?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Just put it in neutral, keep the engine running, steer, and if you come anywhere close to the back of my truck, just hit your brakes, and if I don't notice and I'm trying to go too far, or we're going too fast, you know, just beep your horn and I'll stop." I mean, I literally only had to pull him out probably 10 or 15 feet, and then he was back on semi-solid ground, road that everybody had drove on a little bit more, so it was easier, you know. And then that, and all kinds of other times when I just drive this, either in the mountains when we were in New Mexico, the mountains in the snow, or other areas. It's just funny because people always laugh, but you know, this thing, you know, 99% of the time I drive this, and my wife drives this on the road, so we want something that handles and drives like a car and rides like a car. I mean, I say we, but she bought this without even consulting me, right when we only knew each other for like a month. She had a Honda Civic and then bought this, but it rides amazing. Gets really shitty gas mileage. It's 17.1 right now, but it just rides so good that it's okay that we don't have a solid box frame and can put helper springs on the rear and tow a trailer, even though that's kind of what we're looking for now, because we're to the point where we want to, my wife doesn't agree on it, but we want to get rid of the motorhome and get a travel trailer. This thing is rated to tow 5,000 pounds with, I don't know, 600 or 700 pounds of tongue weight. So I mean, I want a really small travel trailer anyway, but you know, you're going to be pushing the limits of how this is going to ride. I mean, there's not really, minus doing airbags on this, it's not like you can just buy cheap helper springs like you can a traditional vehicle truck kind of thing, you know. So we're thinking about getting either a, initially we thought about getting another Ridgeline, and I was like, no, I want to tow a trailer. And then I was like, well, actually, then before that, after the Ridgeline, because they're so expensive, we're gonna get the Maverick, but they keep having issues with the hybrids. So then we were like, okay, what do we want? And then I looked at prices for like the Chevy Colorado or the Ford Ranger, and then I was like, let me actually look and see about engine specs and towing capacity and how comfortable they are. And I guess turns out the Colorado beats the Ranger and everything, but I don't know. So then I started pricing one out, you know, to get like adaptive cruise control, lane centering, all that good stuff. And by the time you do that, you're looking at like 45, 50 grand. So then I was like, well shit, for that price I can get a fucking Silverado or F-150. So then I priced one of those, and then by the time you get all the shit that you want, even this blew my mind, when you go to the Chevy website, you build a Silverado, you have to add on if you want like wheel well guards. So if you look in where your tire is, and you want that plastic trim that's inside there, that's an added on feature. I'm like, holy shit, this is so crazy. And then by the time I built that the way that I wanted to, it was like 60 grand. So kind of back to square one of not knowing what to fucking buy. So up here, this is the road we're on is, hold on. So this is not the one I'm turning on, this is just the boat landing. But the other road that I was just on was Bryant Bridge Road, and that's Bryant Bridge that we just crossed over. And then there's this like really nice, we used to come here when we lived in Crestview, come here all the time, bring the dogs, float down this creek, hang out. It'd be super cold. Houdini would be so cold that his like teeth were chattering. But it's obviously raining, so we're not getting out. But I think I got another video that I'll try to throw in the link so you can see what it looks like during the day when it's like not raining. It's super nice. That is the Blackwater River or creek. I don't remember which one it technically is, but the area is amazing. There's probably like 5 or 6, probably more. But I know there's at least like 5 good spots to drop in on a kayak or a canoe, or just set up on one of the sandbars and just chill out. It sucks because this is 2 hours from our house now, so we haven't came out here as a family and done things. I haven't even came out here and gotten the water myself. Not that I would do that, but you know, leave the family at home. But yeah, it's amazing. There is stuff like this near Panama City. You can find a creek, but it's nice if you want to like float down it, but if you want to just go and hang out for a day, it's not as nice as this is, because of the sandbars and all the different areas you can go to here. It makes it amazing, because there's always a shitload of people here. No matter when you come, there's going to be some like drunk redneck drinking his fucking bush slide or something. Yeah, and then right over here, let's see what this thing is called. I don't remember the name. We'll see the sign. Blackwater Joe's. So you can rent canoe. I think it said cabins too. So come there and rent some stuff, get in the water, chill, hang out. The amazing thing I forgot to tell you about that water is I mean, even at max in some of the deeper areas where the water, you know, where the riverbed turns and it digs the sand out, it's still like, you know, chest deep, waist deep water. So basically you can get in there and walk the whole thing. It's amazing. Being that I got a shout to overcome the rain and the windshield wipers, probably going to stop ranting on this video and just drive home. The only thing you're going to miss up here is another little dirt road that I'm going to go down. Actually, you might, hold on, we'll be there. You can watch this. Then I'll show you basically where this, uh-oh, there goes little boxes of ammo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one goes through. So this is near Holt, Florida. And up here is Highway 90, and that road behind us that we just came from is Bryant to Bridge Road, in case for some reason you want to go there and hang out at the river. Yeah, back when we lived up here and lived in Crestview, this spot is literally like 25 minutes from my house. I used to come out here all the time. If you watch any of the videos with like Houdini in the woods, you know, our dog in the woods is basically out at the place that I just left. There's a few of him in the woods that aren't there, but most of them, the majority of them, when we do like, you know, I'd ride my mountain bike and do like 5 miles and he would like run next to me. That was like where we would go. He loved it. Poor little guy. Both him and I are old and out of shape, and our joints hurt, so we don't get to do that. Most he gets is like a mile and a half walk every other day, or depending on the weather. Poor little guy. We don't even know how old he is. We've had him for like, I don't know, 8 years. Might have been like 2 or 3. We found him in the woods. We don't know how old he is. My wife sent me a text. Hold on, I'll read it. Let me slow down. She sent me this text. Let me read it. It's super crazy. So she's like, dogs killed a snake, ate the head, body is intact, threw it over the gate, still moving. She sent me that text. It's all like, you know, all like one-liners, you know. And I guess I think our German Shepherd ate the head of the snake. She said they were both rooting around in the backyard. She gets up and looks out the window and they're rooting around. She can tell they got something, and she went to go get shoes on. By the time she got out there, the girl dog, our German Shepherd, takes off running with it in her mouth. And she gets her, she said that she basically told her she would give her a treat, got her, you know, because every time you try to get something from the dog, they think it's a game. Acted like she was going to give her a treat, got her to come back over and got her to drop the carcass, and then she threw it over the fence. Fucking dogs.